Facebook land. How you doing? My name's Robert Grass,
I'm Cheryl Grass.
and together we make up Grassroots Marketing. See what we did there? Grassroots.
Of course, I'm bluegrass today, so I'm wearing blue.
And I wear a lot of black because, yes. We also have a Facebook group, Internet Marketing Mentors, which is dedicated to free education for beginning marketers. That's kind of our niche, is helping young marketers get started the right way. Because when we were young marketers, we did not start the right way. We started all the other ways except the right way. And so
That
after having
that just makes it good for them.
right.
So
So after having kind of lived through that and survived, we've sort of made it our mission to try to help out younger marketers as we go. So Cheryl, you want to share our tip today? Our tip from our zone of genius?
no.
Okay. All right. I'll do it then. Our tip from our zone of genius for this broadcast today is imperfect action beats inaction every time. And basically, what that means is um, it's never necessarily a bad thing to take action as long as your intentions are good. You're really not going to screw up too much. I mean, we're not talking about heart surgery or building a rocket here.
We're talking about people knowing that you're real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And sometimes screwing up in front of somebody
The,
is it kind of lends to your authenticity.
yep.
So we're going to post the outline that we're using for this presentation in the comments on this video, as well as a link to our Facebook group, if that's allowed. I'll have to check and see if that's allowed. I'm not sure. But there's links in the outline. It's a PDF. So I think when you're starting out, you need to find a mentor or a coach that you can trust, because there's just too much stuff out there, too much information to narrow it down on your own and know what you have to know before you can even think about getting started.
Hmm.
They can really help guide you and get you down to the bare essentials. Now, I'm not talking about tell you what products to buy or tell you what trainings you need to go to. I'm talking about, you need this, and this to put your offer up and get going, and then we can start really doing some advanced things.
Yeah. Um, I like our group because, we do put all that stuff up and we try very hard not to let people spam our group. Um,
No spam.
no spam, and make sure that everything that gets posted on our group is beneficial for the whole group. So
Yeah. Yeah. So find a mentor that is willing to help you in that way, and push them to let you do things as you're learning about them and as you're training, because you have to do that in order to get better. I'm not going to get better at driving a car by reading a book about how to drive a car. When kids are taking driver's training, they actually go out and drive with some poor individual with an emergency brake.
that's me.
Yeah, she's driver's ed teacher and school bus driver. So,
Yes.
you know, yeah. Even like surgeons. I mean, that's why we have teaching hospitals. You're not going to get better at surgery without actually getting in there and doing some cutting under the supervision of somebody who knows more than you. So don't be afraid of the mentor thing. But watch yourself. If the first thing the coach does is tells you got to buy a $6,000 course or something, that's probably not good. You
So
know.
so what would you say the basics are to get started?
I think that in order to get started, you need to practice a couple of things. Number one, I think you got to work on copywriting. Now, that's not copywriting like if you steal this movie, we'll put you in jail. It's
It
copywriting.
it could be.
It could be copy like sales copy, like the text of either your email or your website or your Facebook group or your sales letter, whatever it is. There's there's things that you need to know about writing that don't pop up in everyday life. You're not taught that in English class in high school. You need to know the ins and outs a little bit of copywriting so that you can, without sounding like some professional or anything. You can still use good strategy, good tactics, um, and write things that are compelling and that draw readers in, and yet still be able to infuse it with your own personality.
Yeah, you got to be yourself when you're writing because that's going to draw way lots more people than it being a textbook read.
Absolutely. But you do need to do that. So, a lot of things you could do for practicing copywriting. Search out how to write a good email and then practice writing some emails and send them to friends and family for critique. You could start a blog, and that's good, and get feedback from that, and then you can even backlink that to your Facebook page or whatever your media hub is going to be, and that'll help you capture emails. So that's copywriting. I think a big part of getting started as a marketer also is branding. I see a lot of beginning marketers that just they show up and they message me and they say, "Hi, how you doing? Here's my link. Buy my stuff." It's like, I don't know you. I don't know you.
Moving on.
Moving on, because I don't know you. You know, I could buy this thing that you're trying to get me to buy from anybody. Why should I buy it from you? What is my relationship with you? What does your product have to do with you, and what does it have to do with me? So branding is like when we mentor our students, it's one of the very first things we do. We get to know the person who's going to be the marketer, find out what their personality is like and what it is they want to market, what their niche is going to be, and then try to create a brand that infuses their personality into it and communicates that without being silly. Like, Sally's business training. Probably not so much, but things like that. So you need to keep the brand personal but related to the product or the offer.
You can use Facebook for that.
Yep. And you need to, again, solicit opinions from friends. Practice on people. I mean, you got to practice. Actors practice their lines with anyone who will walk by their dressing room. Hey, you want to run some lines with me? You got to practice. So once you're bouncing brand names or brand ideas off of other people, sometimes they'll come up with things that you haven't thought of, and you can get a lot of good ideas from there. Okay. You want to talk about Facebook?
No, I'll let you.
Great. Facebook. All right. We use Facebook as our media hub. It might have something to do with the fact that, like, at any given time, like a quarter of the world's population is on Facebook. So, yeah, there's a couple people there that you can connect with. And, Facebook is pretty bulletproof. You're not going to break too much, so get in there and mess it up. Make yourself a page for your brand. And pages are nice because Facebook will let you sell directly from your page, and people can see your page, and you can link to other people's pages, and they'll link back to you, and you can start driving traffic, and then you can have a capture, and then you get their emails, and then you build an email list, and we'll get to all there. But Facebook pages are great, and they're basically like the center of our organic traffic strategy, which is traffic that you don't have to pay for. You might even consider starting a group. Which a group is a little bit different. It's not designed for selling, but you can use that group to kind of hash out ideas or get people involved into a group that revolves around the niche that you're marketing to.
Yep.
So if you're marketing arts and crafts supplies, you could start a Facebook group called Pam's Pretty, what's a craft that starts with P? Pam's Pretty Potters. I don't know. And then pottery. And then once you connect that group helps you form that connection with those people. And
Yep.
the next thing you know, like, and trust kicks in. And then you recommend them to your page, and they go over to your page, and then they see your offers, and then they buy from you because they know you. They've interacted with you on the group, and it all works together.
Yep, it's important to surround yourself with people that you want to hang around with.
Yep. Your vibe determines your tribe.
Yep.
You got it. Unless you're married to that person, then you're kind of stuck,
Hey.
YouTube videos, are important if you can, or TikTok. A lot of people are really doing a lot with TikTok, but video is the best way for your Facebook audience to get to know you. If you're not coming out on video, people don't even know what you look like. They have no idea what your personality is about. They don't have any perceived sense of authority from you. So get out there and just hold your cell phone up and make a 30-second video. Start yourself a YouTube channel, and then load it to your Facebook page. Why a YouTube channel, by the way? People don't know this, but YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet. It's not even really for video anymore. I mean, it is, but it's a search engine. The only search engine that's bigger than YouTube is Google, and Google owns YouTube. So, okay, so get your YouTube channel up, and get there and hashtag the heck out of it and link the heck out of it, because people are always searching. Anytime I need to know how to do something, what do? I fire up YouTube. How do I start my snowblower when it's been sitting in the garage for 7 years with bad fuel in it?
Just light it on fire.
Yeah, well, we tried that. That didn't work so well. Yeah, but fortunately we tried something else. And that was called wait until spring and just let the snow melt.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Yeah. Other skills that you're going to need when you get started. Funnel design. Yeah, that's kind of an advanced skill. Hopefully your coach or mentor might have some pre-done funnels, or you can find pre-done funnels just about anywhere on the internet, and you can use those as a template.
There's billions.
Funnels don't have to be really complicated, but what they should do is your funnel should introduce you to the people you're trying to sell to. I like to have a bridge page between the swipe where they first see, click on this link to see an amazing video about how you can earn $27 million per minute while you sleep on a bed of $50 bills. But then when they click on that, instead of just going to the offer, there can be a short video from you, a bridge page. And then that's where the customers get to see you. They get to know you a little bit more, know, like, and trust. Ask them for their email. Don't just say, put your email in here. Say, hey, I've got an email list. I've got a daily newsletter that comes out. We have a lot of training. I give stuff away.
You don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss that. Get on my email list. Why not? What am I going to do? I can't reach through the computer and grab your credit card out of your wallet. Literally, anyway. So, ask them. And then you can go to your sales page, and that helps. So, funnels. Web design. Eventually, you're going to need a website. Especially like with Facebook pages, you can't do capture of email addresses directly on the Facebook page. Facebook makes you set it up so that when they enter, when they click, submit my email or whatever, it has to go to an external site. And you're going to want an external site anyway, because you're going to want an email address that's linked to that site that's all working around your brand. You want everything to work together. You want everything to be congruent, to be working together, so that anywhere your potential customers, your leads look, they're getting the same message about you and your brand and your company. You don't want your Facebook group called one thing and then your brand name to be something else and then your website to be a third name. You want it all to work together. So once you get that website, you can get an email, usually tacked on, like if you're using GoDaddy or Wix or something like that. You can get an email address that refers to your website. So if it's pamsprettypotters.com, you can get Pam at pamsprettypotters.com. Now, your customers may hate that because that's really hard to say. Pamsprettypotters.com. Pam at pamsprettypotters.com. But whatever. And there's easy website builders out there. Wix.com, their website builder is good. The GoDaddy website builder is good. You can always use WordPress, which isn't that complicated. And I know both GoDaddy and Wix have integrated WordPress into there. So, don't get all nervous about building websites. What's going to happen? Your computer's not going to blow up. Get out there and do it. That's the only way you're going to get better at it. Build some websites. Go to Wix or GoDaddy. You can make an infinite number of free websites. You can practice building websites. And they'll store them for you. Why? Because they want you to pay later. So they'll help you. But that's good. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the free stuff. Okay, web design. What else? Traffic. Marketing is about traffic. It's not about your product. I mean, it is, but your product doesn't really matter if you don't have good traffic. Traffic trumps product. The person with the best traffic wins. I've had mentors tell me that, and I honestly believe it. I've had bad products sell with good traffic. I've had great products do absolutely nothing with poor traffic. When you're getting started, you've got two choices. You can pay for traffic or you can try to get it for free. If you're going to pay for traffic, you got to be careful. You can get burned. There are a million solo ad vendors out there who are not good, shall we say. Not good. They'll sell you, 300 clicks for $40. It's all tier one traffic.
Well,
Yeah, right.
And they'll pester you.
Yeah.
They find you and they pester you.
Yeah, you give them your email address, and the next thing you know, you're getting 43 emails a day from them, and they're friending you. And yeah, you got it. So what you got to do, you got to go search. You got to do some research. You got to go on Facebook, get on solo ad testimonial groups, find, research, ask friends, ask your mentor, ask other marketers. Who do you use? Will you give me some names? Once you find a marketer, you need to double check with that marketer. Okay, your lists. What niche do your lists fall into?
Yeah.
If I'm selling arts and craft supplies and your niche is built around business offers, I don't want to buy your traffic. They're not going to want to buy knitting needles and paintbrushes from me because that's not what they're into. It's got to line up. It's that idea of congruency again. It's got to be congruent. Okay. Once you find a vendor you like, don't be afraid to ask them to critique your ad copy, your swipe. Some of these guys are pretty good, and they know their lists and they know what they respond to. They may even offer to write your swipe for you. That's fine. Just make sure you read it before you approve the ad. Mm-hmm. Got to know what's going on with your name on it. You can also, from your Facebook page, not from your group, but from your page, if you write a really good post and it's got a link in there to your offer and you really like it and think it's compelling, Facebook will put a little button on there that says boost this post. You can actually create a Facebook ad right out of that post. You can target your audience. It's not very expensive. You can set your own budget. You can say, I want to spend $5 a day to promote this post and run it for 5 days. So for $25, you can reach a couple thousand people. Now, they might not be really warm traffic, but it's a good way to get your feet wet, and collect some emails. Okay.
That's normally on a fan page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any page, not a group, a page.
Right.
Organic traffic. Yes, Sharon Smith, by the way, this is live. Organic traffic. Sorry, something came up on the chat there. If you're going to do organic traffic, you've got to understand that organic traffic is kind of feast or famine. It comes in waves, and then there are days where it's just crickets. The more branches you can spread out through all of the internet and link, and then ask them to link back to you, the better off you're going to be. So, through all of our social media, our TikTok, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, our YouTube, our Instagram, it all links back to our Facebook, which links back to our website, and that's got a capture on it. The Facebook page has a capture on it. The group goes back to the page. That's got a capture on it. And then, on Instagram, there's a reference back to the page that's got a capture. You go out on Instagram and you post some things. You like a lot of other people's stuff. You follow them. They will follow you in return, usually if they follow social protocol. And then your link is showing up to the people that are looking at their stuff. Okay, so you've got to cast your nets far and wide. Problem with that when you do it is you can cast your net into waters where you don't want to catch those fish. So you need to try to make sure that you're posting links and looking in areas that line up with your niche. There's that idea of congruency again. Everything's got to line up.
I don't know where my net got cast, but I keep getting marriage, proposals and people wanting to date me, and I have never ever went on anything like that. And
yeah, that was we went through a couple months there where she was getting a, every couple hours she'd get a message from someone and accept a friend request.
So
they'd start asking questions. Then I'm like, you get another marriage proposal? You're going to take that one? Does he look rich?
Yeah, well, I don't. Oh, jeez. I don't have any advice for people who somehow cast their net in the same spot. So
yeah, ladies, there are a lot of scummy people out there on the internet. Please be careful. Don't accept friend requests till you've researched them. I've been burned. My group's been burned. My page has been burned. Our website's been burned with people who pretend to have fake accounts.
Yep.
Use Google image lookup. Look how old their Facebook account is.
See
If it's
they're
if it's
active.
if it's 2 months old and
Yeah.
it's got 3 posts, and yet they tell you they grew up somewhere and moved somewhere and they work for someone, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. So yeah, organic traffic, lots of links, friends, family, acquaintances. If you're going to be a marketer, you can't be afraid to ask those people. I'm not talking about calling them up and say, buy my knitting needles. I'm saying, look, you've got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Why don't you put my link on your Facebook page and I'll put your link on my Facebook page? And that just spreads the web further because then they're linked with other people and so on and so forth.
Well, people might poo-poo you at first when you get started, but once they start seeing you're successful, they're going to be looking at your Facebook page and they're going to go, yeah, I want to know. And they're going to, pick the link.
Another thing you can do for organic traffic too is to join Facebook groups that are aligned with your niche and ask lots of questions. And eventually you'll get to meet people in those groups. And if they have pages, you can ask if they'll post your link, and then you'll post theirs, and that just sends it out. So paid traffic is fast. Organic traffic can be slow, but the nice thing about organic traffic is that when you do get those leads in, they're kind of warmed up for you. They're in your wheelhouse. Yeah. They're close to what it is you're looking for. So, that's something to think about. And that's something that's going to depend, it's going to depend on how much money you have to spend to get your business off the ground. If you're, going to be building a big email list and doing email marketing, which I recommend, because you'll never lose that email list and you can always market to it. And even when you change products and change offers, and you can bring those people with you and they'll be there forever and ever and ever. Anyway, so that's something that you'll have to work out with your coach or your mentor. But at least you've got, what questions to ask them now. A lot of coaches and mentors say, start with one thing and go deep. I say no. Don't do that yet. When you're first starting out, I don't know anything about marketing, but I want to make money online. Okay? Go wide but shallow. Learn just enough about each thing to kind of get started so you can get online and start doing some things. Once you get started and you've got the mechanics sort of down with the help of your coach or mentor, then you can start looking at what is the worst thing for you. Like, man, I cannot build a Facebook page. I just don't get it. Okay, now start seeking out training on that specific topic. Man, I'm terrible at videos. I freeze up in front of the camera. I don't know what to do. Okay, find training on that specific topic. You'll have time to go deep on each thing. But if you sit there and buy a 26-hour, 40-module training course to get started in internet marketing, my experience is you won't get started in internet marketing. You will suffer from paralysis by analysis. You will think that you can't do anything until you master all of these units and everything like that, and you'll sit there and go through them all and talk to your coach and all that, and meanwhile...
Well, yeah, well, the important thing is that you have success right away so that you can keep going. I mean, people that keep trying this thing, after a year and don't see any success, I commend them for sticking around for a year. But you can't do that. You're
that's a sign you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, so
I mean,
you kind of have to put your feelers out and see what you like, see what's best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been there, man. We've done that. We've doubled back. We've run promotions and stuck with them longer than we should have, and realized at the end, man, this just isn't working.
Well, we were
not
told,
working.
We were told focus on one thing.
Yeah,
and we
it's
listened.
Okay.
But...
Yeah, you got to learn for yourself. It's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from other people's mistakes. Much better.
We got some.
And less expensive. And between the two of us, we got a big pile of mistakes. So, you can learn from our mistakes.
And then we have friends who have mistakes that they don't mind sharing too. So
Yeah, so we can borrow their mistakes. So that's pretty much it. And hope you enjoyed this video. We went a little bit over time. It looks like we did about 30 minutes. I apologize for that. But yeah, we'll put the outline down in the comments, and hope you got something out of this. Anything you want to add?
no.
Okay. Bye.